Hey, good morning, good morning. We're looking for some goldy buys, gold long positions here. If we can break above 30, I think like 37.57. 37.57 should be good. Man, really nice buys this morning too. Similar setup like, was it Jacob? I think Jacob had similar setup yesterday. Jason. Wait, let me see over here. Yeah, Jason. You see, Jason had the same setup here. Similar move that we had this morning, but this happened yesterday at the Asia session. And we took a buy here for pre-London. You know, so you just gotta stick on your time. Stick on the time that you trade and you know the market's gonna give you a similar move. No need to rush anything. No need to feel like you're missing out on anything. Market's gonna give you that same move. You just gotta wait till the next time. Yeah, so I just held. I think it was a pretty clean move. We had clean range. We had about a... Hey, thank you, Don FRX for the 7 ZAR. Let's go. Appreciate it. You don't have to, but appreciate it. Yeah, we got Don FRX. Where the South Africans are. I watched a crazy video yesterday. If you know Jason Noah there in South Africa, watch a video of him arguing with his girlfriend. Guy's pretty popular. I think he's one of the OG forex traders in SA. And it's like, where do you find the time to argue with your girlfriend? Like, don't you got better things to do? I don't have time to argue with anybody. All right. We just want to chase this money, not the drama. We catch flights, not feelings. Right, chat? All right, let's see. Stop loss below here. Gonna do like 64 pips. And just sit on our hands and wait for the heavens to give us this bread. So I want to see now if price can keep moving up. We really have to break above some kind of a resistance there. Asia buys was beautiful. Oh, yes. Yeah, Asia buys. I think that's what everybody was looking for. Asia buys here. You see, that's why I picked this time. This is the time that I come in. Right here. It could still happen earlier too. But I like this volume time. You know, you got to pick the time where there's got to be volume. Or when you expect there to be volume in the market. There's no one way to skin this goat. You know, just because TFX trades this time doesn't mean you have to trade that time. You just got to monitor, see what time that you are free to trade. To see how a price behaves, you know. So I think that's pretty straightforward. I wasn't on the chart for even long. Let's see, got my entries here by 125. I think I was on the chart for not for long at all. Not for long, maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Hey Ashi, good morning, good morning. Break the high, retest, beautiful. Oh yeah, break and retest, true. Now I just want to see if I can get like some kind of a continuation play. But price is coming down quite heavy. We're down now 0.14%. It's like a golf swing. Just gotta prepare, see how we're gonna swing this thing. It's like a golf swing here. Nice little accumulation from this zone. It's breaking distributed to the upside. That was during the New York session. Nice little SMA confluence here. You got the SMA crossover. And price is moving up. Now the thing is, like, gold is broken into a range. It's consolidating here as well. So yeah, I think it could be a pretty big move if it breaks through this this little accumulation over here. It could be a pretty big move because this whole range is like a 230 pips. So, you know, we could see pretty nice distribution from this area. Let's see on the daily. Oh, nice. We're still at all-time highs. Yesterday's daily candlestick closed quite bullish. We did about 660 pips roughly. So definitely seeing a lot more momentum still to the upside. This daily could still keep moving up too. I don't see a reason as to why to be selling gold. And look at that. So nice. So nice. Just gotta take buys. Man, if you focus on these buys, I think you're gonna have a really good time. You know, and the idea here is like, when you look on the left-hand side, you're gonna start to see open spaces. And when you create these open spaces, that's gonna give price opportunity to you know, move through that structure. Or open space actually, yeah. But you see, when you take it like a sell, and you see that price is moving up predominantly, you gotta be very cautious about these types of entries, because you know at this point you are counter trending. So you gotta be very careful, because you know the buyers are gonna come in at any moment. They can come in at any moment and then squeeze you out of a sell, because you wanna be ideally looking for a buy, correct? That would be the most ideal situation. Oh, you got some buys here too. It was from here, but didn't take them. Took the same trade as you, but hold it only 1% profit. Let's see. It was possible to cut below from 1 minute. Ooh, I didn't. Could we have cut that below? You see, that's the thing. I came in later. I came on the chart when price was already up here. Yeah, you could have caught it from below. True. Let's see what's going on here. We could get a reversal confirmation signal below these lows. You see how like price is breaking below support. So what I'm anticipating is if it moves down, it can move down towards this next support here by 37.43. But we could also have a reversal confirmation here. You see this is like a shotgun play that's currently in motion. Candlestick closed below support. Next candle broke the previous lows. Got a clean range down towards that next area over there. But I want to see something like this, struggle, and then move up. You know, like that trade I took yesterday? I took a buy yesterday. It was like a losing trade during the pre-New York time. It hit TP1, but I kind of wanted to hold it for a bit longer. But I got caught in consolidation. Like, price is just consolidating, and I was like, damn, I know this is gonna be a losing trade, so let me just see it through the end. You know, even though I knew it was gonna be a losing trade, so many options to break even, so many, because basically it took a buy and I got caught in like a range like that, and it just kept coming up and to break even, and then it kept coming down. It went for TP1 again, second time, and then it just completely melted. But it always happens, chat. Like, I can't explain, like, every single time. Like, the trade gives you a hard time. It's, for me at least, it's always a losing trade. Every time it gives a hard time. I guess that's kind of nice to know as well, because you can manage your risk more effectively. But watch out for that. Watch out for how your trades are playing out. Are they giving you a hard time when it's a winning trade, or does it not give you so much of a hard time? Because I think you're going to leave some clues there. Did it hit my SL? Are you not in a trade? No, I'm not in a trade. Was that you in a short? This maybe to go down and collect liquidity below the 37.39. Then rise again to break up, or is making higher low off for the 30-minute structure, as it's already done a nice grab around there. This could be the start of the reversal right here. Let us see what we're gonna do today. What can we do today? Maybe price gonna come down first and then create that structure and then move bullish. So we just gotta wait. If you want to get paid. Potential whip in coming. Reversal confirmation. You see, because I'm thinking like these sellers over here, how they must feel about this trade. Let's say if they took a sell here at the break of the lows. Correct? So that's how their position would kind of be looking like right now. So if I can get my structure and take a buy here through their stop loss and then continue moving up, maybe even take out these highs right over here. So that becomes an accumulation, manipulation, and then back to the upside. So that's going to be the idea here. See, new 5-minute candlestick just opened up too. So I can break these highs. I think with a new 5-minute candlestick, should be able to break the highs over there. Then that's going to become like a V-shaped reversal, or at least I anticipate it to be a V-shaped reversal. Next 5-minute opens, and then just moves up like this. V-shaped reversal back to the upside. Get this bullish exuberance in. All right, might get triggered here on the next 1 minute. Ooh, pulling down first. Awesome, creating the bottom wick. Got a gap on my broker. Quite interesting. Looks like he would give me a better price actually. The way the candlestick opened. All right, see, I'm anticipating some kind of push up right now. Because if it doesn't push up, then it could just be doing like a small little break and a retest situation there. Hey, Soitsky, good morning. Come on, let's skyrocket. Spartans! Let's fake these sellers. Really want to fake these sellers out right here. Forming a little mini consolidation there too. Pretty good sign. Vic, could you check oil, please? All right, we're gonna look at oil later. All right, it would be nice if this actually fakes below that wick, that lower wick over there. Like if it gives a false entry, basically like a false entry for these sellers, it breaks this wick and then comes up like this. That's going to be the liquidity grab again. Little minor liquidity grab. So it's starting to slightly break below that wick. Hope it's not just a break and a retest, because it's still kind of, you know, candle doesn't have a top wick here. We got 1 minute. Maybe next 1 minute candlestick skyrockets up. It's kind of doing like small little break and retest, but we're expecting actually a fake out and not a break and a retest. Come on, Goldie. This is such a good setup right here. Looking for like, you know, not a lot of drawdown here for this trade if it starts to break above resistance. Oh, we got hourly. Hourly. Oh, that is kind of, that would not be the hourly flip for me. But hourly looks like it's doing a liquidity grab too. Just broke below these lows. Yeah, it's pulling up back so heavy. We just tapped that 8 SMA there too. We're at resistance, but we can move through this level. Come on, reversal confirmation. Let's go. One of my favorite plays. We got some liquidity grab confluence. We just took out that mini consolidation there. Just need to break above the highs. Come on now. Looks like the 5 minute might have closed like a doji. Small indecision candlestick. On my broker at least. Yeah, this thing's about to skyrocket. See how it's hesitating there? Let's go Don with the gifted. One gifted. Jimmy Williams got it. Nice one, Jimmy. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright if it pulls down a bit. I don't mind a little bit more price action, to be honest. Let's just get those. Let it get its orders. You know, maybe the job is the market wants to move up. But you see it's fetching. It's probably looking to fetch some orders. Looking for some more sellers so we can make this move happen here above resistance, like reversal. So, you know, this is a trade that I take all the time. And it took me a while to to build up confidence to take these kind of like impulsive entries. You know, you gotta watch it. I had to watch it for a few months before I really started executing on it. It's got support from previous daily high as well. You see the liquidity grab on the 5 minute. Maybe you can see it now better. See that additional liquidity grab that we just had on the 5 minute? Break below support. We got clean range on the 5 minute up towards the resistance. Because, you know, price is always looking back at its neighbors, right? So if it's looking at its neighbors, they want to see what its neighbors did. And if price came down smoothly like this, then this could actually, this is like a swing entry model. This is basically like a swing entry model for price to move up. You know, so candles like to look at what their buddies did on the left hand side, and that's the most recent bit of price action over here. So if we move down smoothly, I'm expecting that we can move up smoothly as well. So he's grabbing orders, setting up. You know, it's like when you see your neighbor mow his lawn, you're also going to want to cut your grass. It's just a waiting game. Gotta wait to see if we can get a break. Price still has to prove to us that it can make this move. The only way is if we can start to break a little bit of structure. You want to give us that London Open. This also got London Open confluence because sometimes London Opens actually do reversal plays. So it looks like London broke below support. Now we're reversing back up. So this could be the London Open fake out. Slightly breaking. Almost got the break. All right, nice. I'm in. Let's fly, Goldie. That should confirm to me that he wants to move up now. That's it, man. Getting stuck in is the hardest part. That's it. Confirm the entry. Everything else here should be, you know, be like smooth sailing here at this point. Only thing we can do right now is like look and see how, if we need to manage risk in terms of reducing the stop. Which I think I'll do if price comes below here. Let's say by 37.51. So I'm going to lose less, a lot less, but still have all the upside. That's it. Let's see if we can fly, baby.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Let's fly, Goldie. Got that clean traffic on the left-hand side. It's really nice. This clean range. Clean range on the 5. This is that BE point. It's going up for their stops. Because the previous sellers should be like managing their risk right now. They should have already managed some risk because this candle is breaking above the highs. We're basically trying to squeeze them out. Trying to squeeze them. Come on now. Don't sell in. Don't sell. There's no reason for you guys to sell no more. You already had your shot. You had your shot. Price pushed down a bit for you, but you can see we started reverse on you. Reverse on you. Why would you take a sell over here? You know, that's what I'm always thinking. Is like, why would somebody take a sell over here to make price go down? Like, is there really that much confluence to take a sell in the middle of a range like this? When we're in such bullish territory? One hour wick fill. Only thing I can say, candlestick pushed up without a top wick. That's the only thing that creates like a little bit of an imbalance over there. Because that previous candle didn't have a top wick. Would be nice, but you know it's a volume based play. So sometimes it's just a lot of volume that candle couldn't create the top wick. But obviously it's always good to have that top wick. Oh, yes, let's go. Come on, run, Goldie. This probably has a good shot at all-time highs too, becoming a real bomber clot. All right, guys, stop loss to break even here. It's now becoming a risk-free trade. Risk-free trade. Come on, Goldie. Because now I don't want to see the 5-minute reflip. You see, if the 5-minute reflips here, you're already up like about... That's about 24 pips. You see, if the 5-minute reflips and breaks its lows, then, you know, at that point, then it is what it is. Because, you know, it's already filled up the range over here on the left-hand side. See, we're already at the top of the range. Because it's a volume-based entry, we're actually expecting some sort of like price to continue to move up, to continue breaking up these highs like this, and then just continue going to the all-time highs there. Pretty nice move. It's a risk-free trade for me, so I'm just gonna see if price can keep running there. Out half, let's move. Holy man, candle open all the way up here by TP. That was way too quick. No way I was closing that. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know if anybody got closed out here, but TP actually just got hit. Better move through that level, Goldie. Don't do this to me again. But what happened last time? Last time it did the same exact thing. Exactly at TP1. And then it retraced, then it moved up again. Man, that is crazy. That is crazy. It's going to pull back. Yeah, when it does something like that, sometimes I always get a bit cautious. You know, it's like, why did it do that? Man, crazy. What's going on here? Come on, Goldie, fly. But yeah, if you guys manage to secure something, this thing just peaked at about like 30 pips. And that's where I actually wanted to secure at like 30 pips. I'll retest that area there, sir. All right, nice. Securing right here, boys. Let's freaking go.
Why are you running?
Yeah, just topping off the account here. Pretty good day. I'm already up so much for the day, chat. I don't even need the second trade, but you know, I think it's pretty good. Pretty good because, you know, once you learn how to manage your risk, you can always give yourself an opportunity. You know, even if you wanted to leave like a run over here, just secure like 80%. You know, it's already pushed up quite a bit. Let's go, Spartans!
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yeah, just like we spoke about, you know, everything that we spoke about here. This was everything that we spoke about here that happened. That's why it's super important to be patient, you know. Be patient in the market. Let the trades come to you. Don't force the entries. Let the market come to you. Correct? So just as I spoke about here, like anticipating these sellers here were going to get faked out. And then price was going to start to move up. See this? All pre-planned. Because we've seen this happen so many times before. So what you're always doing is like, actually when you're trading, you're just thinking about the move that's coming. You're not thinking about the move or the candlesticks which are currently printing. Let's go, guys. Make sure you secure something. Even if you still want to leave a runner, I'm still writing this. Try to like take something out. Secure like 80%, something like that. Because this thing's going to the all-time highs. You know, we already got some pretty good entries. We got some pretty good entries. So you see this? Whenever you take a trade, you want it to be having some kind of a confirmation. So every time you get your entry stuck in, you're expecting like some kind of a reaction. So you see this zero drawdown? This is like a zero drawdown kind of like a strategy that I have. It's like a zero drawdown strategy, you can call it, but I've never actually looked at it that way until yesterday when somebody mentioned it. But yeah, it is kind of like a zero drawdown strategy, you know, but sometimes we do get the retracements like back in and stuff, but you can always manage your risk because you already know that your best trades, they never give you like this much of a hard time. They never give you a hard time. So if you think about it, the risk management on this approach is actually quite insane because, you know, you'd barely get like any kind of drawdown. So you'd already be technically, you know, you could play around with this because, you know, in trading, the only thing you can control is this. Right? And if you got a system that can give you something like this, even better. Because now you're getting like more insight into what's possible. But pretty good trade here. Where are the all-time highs, Goldie? All-time highs by 37.58. Or actually, it's a bit higher up. 37.60, 59, 37.59. It'll break above these highs. But that's a good place to get stuck in anyway. Got a little accumulation from here. Accumulation, manipulation. Still hasn't broken the highs of this next accumulation area up here. It came, retested the highs, but it hasn't broken above. Let's see what the market does, because the market knows that people got in there, by the way. So usually sometimes it'll come down and then retest their entries, or Maybe even look at stopping out some trailing positions. The market knows this because there's only a certain amount of areas in the market that you can actually catch like a repeatable trade, a repeatable pattern. And if it's a profitable one, then the market will be looking to come and mitigate those areas. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it does that. But you see, that's what I mean. Like every time you take a sell, because I was thinking like, okay, you know, what would the sellers here do? You know, if I was in a sell and I saw price do this, that's why I said that's why they have to manage their risk. You see? Because look, if they don't manage their risk, the market can give you an option to manage your risk. It's like, you're going to take the option or you're not going to take the option. You know, but it's telling you. And that's why I can see. Because if I was in this sell myself, I would know I would have to reduce my possible 65 pips stop loss to around like, you know, 20 pips. And then save the rest of the pips over there. Because I know once we break these highs, there's a strong probability that it's going to come and hit my stop loss. Because, you know, a lot of us know our stop loss is going to get hit. Right? We know this, but we don't do anything about it. You could have done something about it like this. A lot of the time, we don't do anything about it. Right? So instead of cutting it, we just let it hit. So, you know, that's also kind of like an idea of this trade. That's why I say, you know your enemy. Keep your enemies close. Your enemies are going to be your best friends. Your haters are going to be your best friends too. Because they're going to tell you things that you can improve. You know? So once you have that mindset, then you only get better. You know, the haters just going to continue to hate. They're going to do their thing, but you're going to like take value from that. That's how I look at things. That's how I look at trading too. Can you share your first trade? Yeah, my first trade was a buy. Was a buy on gold. We also had a little bit of accumulation over here too. That was like a swing entry. We got accumulation, but you could also be looked at as swing entry with a tighter stop. So as price was breaking those highs, that's when I got into my buy over here. You know, we had so much clean traffic because the candlesticks were looking back here at its buddies. You know, I was looking at its buddies and saying, okay, so since we came down so nicely, maybe we can go up so nicely. And you see, it went all the way up here until resistance. And look at the way it acted off of resistance. Like, then you ask yourself, why do candles move like this? Why do they move like this and then hit their head here on resistance? Right? Why not hit your head on this support, for example? Because a lot of the time, some traders draw like a support over here. And then they're going to draw another support somewhere around here. They're going to look at the Monday open or the Sunday open. And, you know, all this rocket science. But, you know, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. You just got to look at your neighbors. What did your neighbors do? Bought ETH on daily time frame. RBS. Let's see how it played. Holding with break even and targeting new highs. So, yeah, I think it's pretty nice. I'm going to miss this period when this period ends of Goldie longs. It's like really nice to trade gold longs. It's really fun. But I think for until the end of the year, it's probably going to be something we're going to be with until the end of the year. So there's going to be a bunch more opportunities for you to catch some longs. Yeah, well, I'm already up for the day, like 4%. September. Let's see how many trades we've done in September. Took in about 39, close to 40 trades now. It's a good thing we caught this trade too, because you know, we don't know how the London session here is going to behave past this point, because this could become now like a no trade zone. So you see, it's kind of like overall moving sideways. It's kind of like overall ranging. Don't Trey Brown, thank you for the sub. I don't know why people join the stream to take a trade and then leave. It's such a waste of time. Because those same people, they're going to watch the stream. If I didn't take a trade, they're going to watch the stream like the whole time till the trade happens if there's a position on screen. But it's such a waste of time. Like, why do that to yourself? Because you're going to end up being stuck in this phase of trying to learn how to trade for even the next 10 years. You know, it's like, damn, you really want to be here for the next 10 years looking for signals on free live streams? By that time, you would have already been a profitable trader yourself. Because that's one thing. Like, when I started trading, man, one thing that I wanted to learn was the skill for myself. That's why I said I lost a lot more money on courses than I did in the market. Because, you know, for me, I didn't want lucky trades. I hated lucky trades because, like, I knew I could not replicate that lucky trade. So I was already thinking, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this myself. I want to learn how to do this. You know, it's like if you're going to a racetrack every day, you don't want to always be in the passenger seat. You know, it's pretty nice to be in the passenger seat, but, you know, you don't always want to be. You want to learn, how can I get in the driver's seat as soon as possible? Because it's going to be a lot more fun. You know, that's for me has always been my mental model to things. Even like the first time I went surfing in Muizenberg in South Africa, which is like one of the best beaches to learn how to surf. And if not the best beach to learn how to surf. But the first thing I want to do is like, I want to learn this on my own. Like, I want to get this instructor off my back as soon as possible. Then, you know, it gets a lot more fun. So, you know, it's all a mental model to things. I think that's the determining factor to you becoming like a successful trader or not. It also kind of depends on your personality. Like, if you like your hand being held or if you actually want to do it yourself. Some people like the hand holding. Odds on the Waffle King making gold fly later? Yeah, I think price could go up later. We're still expecting it to fly up today. We're currently up 0.20%. We're not really trending, but there is like some kind of a bullish momentum over here. You know, so took one buy here this morning. You see this? You just got to give your trades room to play. So we had one buy here this morning. Your price moved up to resistance. And then you give it time, because see, the market was just all in distribution at that point. And then you give it time, go do something else. And you see, now we came back onto the charts here. And then we got this set up. And then you see we're done. And then we're going to give it time. We're going to go do something else. And then we're going to come back at a different time when the market's already kind of like recalibrated differently. But if you're just taking back-to-back trades, you got to give yourself less of a chance. Less of a chance to catch like something really good. Because the market loves patience, you know, it's like, it really rewards patience. You really get rewarded for that. You see that reaction just came back to retest the entries. As I said, it knows people got in here. So when I look at the market, man, I look at this thing like I have a different relationship with the market than a lot of people. If you've been trading for, let's say, less than a year. You know, because now I understand these moves. Like, this is literally... This is what it does. It's like a habit. It knows people got in here. So that's why I said, like, sometimes we get that retracement. It's looking to take people out. See, and then you get the re-entries too. Sometimes you also got people re-entering. You got people re-entering for price to continue moving up as well. But it knows this is a pretty high value area, because this is where the confluence was for the buys. And that's what you're trying to replicate. Because it knows this is the area. Because you see, like, the thing is, like, we can all take this trade, right? But we could have executed differently. Because I don't know how other people in the world are looking at the price action right now. I only know how I look at the price action. Because nobody also taught me this. So this is my outlook on price action. This is my special way of looking at charts. Right? So I don't know how other people look at them. But it's quite interesting because, you know, we tend to get these same reactions. And that's kind of like where you want to be stuck in. Right? Because at the end of the day, all we're trying to catch are these swings, correct? We're all trying to catch the same swings. But we could catch them a bit differently. That's why they say a lot of things work in trading, but you just have to stick with what works for you. Are you intimate with the market? Man, so many whips are gonna make you intimate, whether you like it or not. Market's gonna build your character. You must get intimate. Got a very intimate relationship here with a lot of losses. You know, I think losses make you the most intimate. That's when you're the most vulnerable. That's when you're like, man, I gotta learn from you. I gotta listen to you. What are you gonna teach me today? So it's like, that's why they say, today target, I think around 3770. Thoughts? Not sure. I'm thinking today, if we go on the daily time frame, price can move up 3770. It can move beyond this. I think today we could even see something like 3800. 3800 is within range. You know, if you got like a gun and you gotta say, okay, you know, how far can this gun shoot? This is within range, 3800. Maybe like 3790, 3800, in between 3790 to 3800. But 3800 definitely is more the attractive psychological point the price can get to. But you know, right now we just got to get through the all-time highs first by 3759. Struggling to increase lot size now. When from 2.5k after 5k withdrawal last month to 8k so fast. Now still using small lots. My goal is getting to 50k in a year, making an average of 30% a month. Oh, nice. I overtraded yesterday and got burned. Did not set a SL and trade went bad. Oh, you gotta set, like, you know, one thing you can't compromise on is that SL. SL has to be there. You gotta double check it like you got OCD. Especially if you're planning on leaving the chart with the trade running. Because you're gonna sleep better knowing that the SL is there. You know, it's like an insurance. Yeah, I'm definitely the bottom. I'm definitely the bottom in this relationship. I get effed every day. Zeph is a lot of people up, especially right now. You know, since we're stuck in this range, it's only gonna get more difficult to trade. So that's why you mustn't hesitate. When you see your entry set up, when you see entry models, don't hesitate. Just take the trade, execute on the position. Because if you hesitate, you know, sometimes you get caught in the difficult trades. $3,800 even better. Thanks. No problem. Nah, but for real, there are people in the world that take a trade without SL. Yeah, that's true. That's usually people who don't accept losses or people who like to martingale. They're gonna take that, or people who just blow accounts. Some people just blow accounts. I don't know like what the idea is behind that, but you know, like some people are gonna like load up maybe $100 and then no SL and then just write it. So they're gonna keep trading until their account blows and try and make withdrawal, and then they're gonna keep doing that till their account blows. But the problem with that strategy, you can't really keep track of your performance. It's a lot more difficult, and it's a lot more tiresome to always like withdraw and then like, you know, the whole process. But you can easily lose track of the money if you're doing that too. If you're not journaling it, for example, in a separate spreadsheet to see how your actual performance is going for the month. But it's kind of like a coping mechanism, you know. I think psychologically it makes you feel a bit more safe, a bit better somehow. Got a win. Then my wife brought pepperoni pizza in. Oi, oi. Of like if I'm gonna eat pizza, I've been eating a lot of tuna pizza. I eat like a tuna pizza almost every day, but you know it's like homemade. Super, it's really nice because tuna can give me like maybe like, you know, 30 grams of protein on that, and then you just get like a bread. Get a nice bread, and then you put like ketchup on it. And then what else do I do? Like you gotta put the tuna on top, and then you put the small tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and then you put it in the air fryer. No. You first gotta air fry the bread so it's already hard. Then you do all that. Then you put the cheese on top. Put some nice mozzarella cheese, because mozzarella cheese is what you gotta have for pizza. It's like a lot gooey and stuff, right? Then you put it. Then you put put salt and pepper on the tomatoes first, and then you put the mozzarella cheese on, and then you put some basil. Man, you can't miss a basil. The basil is what gives the pizza like everything. Then you put that in the air fryer. Comes out nicely charred on the cheese. It's kind of nicely charred. You get your protein in. It's like my favorite meal of the day. It's my go-to meal. It's my go-to meal. And then for lunch, what I'm doing for lunch right now, it's just like pretty clean chicken, shredded chicken, with like a homemade Greek dip. So it's like Greek yogurt, a couple of garlic, 2 teaspoons of garlic in there. What else? Salt, pepper, a little bit of oregano, and some parsley. And it's like really nice garlic dip. So I eat my chicken with some naan, like pretty nice naan bread, naan and chicken, some garlic sauce. Now I want a cooking stream, bro. Like my prep on the weekends, when I prep on the weekends, it literally takes me zero time. So that's what I've been mastering of late, was working out, because like I'm naturally a scrawny guy, you know, but of late we've been hitting the gym nicely, getting a bit more gains, like working on the foundation, working on everything. I'm making some pretty good progress here, to be honest. And it's all about the foundation. You know, I'm naturally a skinny guy. I'm pretty weak. I'm naturally like, I just feel I'm not the type of person to gym a lot. So like for me, it's like, okay, you know, I'm going to take this as a challenge. I'm going to take this as a challenge because I've seen the importance of foundations. Like honestly, if you build yourself a foundation, a proper one, a really well thought out one, man, it's like anything is possible. You know, and that's one thing I've learned from trading. It's like once you have that, everything else just flows so much easier. You know, so even it becomes much more addicting to be like disciplined and to follow your rules, because you start to see results. You know, but you can't see results if you don't have a plan. You know, you need to plan out your day. Like if you're still waking up in the morning and you don't have a plan for your day, then you know that's not good. My account is at 10k and I only do 0.01 lots with no SL. Layering, this works good for me, doing profits. Like, man, right now, the next system I have is like a budgeting system. I'm working on like my own budgeting system on Notion. And it's so good. It's so good. Like, damn, chat. I feel like in life, nobody actually, because, you know, I was like looking on YouTube, right? I was looking on YouTube. I was thinking to myself, like, how do people like budget properly? You know, I was looking at Excel sheets and all of these things, but man, no one actually gives you like really good gamified ways of doing it. That's not like an app or something, but you can create the systems. If you get good at creating your own systems, you know, you're gonna make your life so easy for yourself. So also like programmers, if you're good at programming, you're just gonna program things that you want to make your life easier, and people find value in that. You know, so naturally you're also building skills to provide value, you know, to other people. I got like really nice system. And it's all thanks to trading, to be honest. Like, that's one thing I would give back to trading is it will teach you this. It will shape your character into something completely different than you expected. Every time you show up and get better and you get into that mental model, then everything in your life changes. Everything follows. So when you think of trading, don't think of it just like buy and lose. Oh, I lost today, I won today. Think about like an opportunity, because it's a domino effect. Like it will shift from trading into other areas in your life. I know a skinny guy that can take out the biggest guy. He knows judo. Skinny guys are cool. Yeah, I don't like being skinny, man. I feel like you gotta set some kind of an example, you know. And there's something about being fit that demands some kind of like respect, because majority of people will not be in a good shape. They'll be mostly just normal. That's what I've come to realize. Majority of people are just like normal. And you know, there's nothing that I find more depressing than a guy who makes a lot of money and at the same time is skinny. It's like you make all this money but you don't eat food, you don't take care of yourself. I don't think it's such a good example. You demand some kind of a respect, you know, when you look like you work out. Because, you know, it's like, it shows that, man, this guy is disciplined. It shows, you know, you got good habits. You take care of yourself. Because it's easy to be lazy. It's super easy. You know, but why do we want to do what majority of people could easily do? You know, that's why majority of people are not successful in trading. It's the same exact thing, because they like the shortcuts. They like the easy way out, but there's no easy way out. You gotta actually put the grind in. Hey Tetra, how do I get your spreadsheet for journaling? It's in the description box. Just request for the free spreadsheet. Then I've gotta accept it later. Hey, good morning, explorers. Howdy, howdy. Please explain how you confluence with SMA. When you download in the description box, you will see the description of the SMA. So yeah, just click on the link. Or just also tune into the stream, you know, tune into the stream, and then you're gonna see. Like for this trade over here, I wasn't paying much attention to the SMAs, right? But you know, we had some SMA confluence. It's just taking a while to load. Yeah, perfect. So you see, like the good thing about this trade was, okay, actually we had the 50 SMA was against us. It seems the 50 SMA was against us, but we had the 8 SMA. But, you know, the price action is king at the end of the day. So, you know, as price moved up like this, we had only the 8 SMA in this scenario. So not the most ideal situation for the SMAs, because we got the 50 blocking the way a bit. But at the end of the day, you know, like price action is king. Right? So you see how price broke above? And then look at the way the SMAs here are about to cross. And you got the SMA crossover, you see? Now you get the SMA crossover, and it's like in line with the PA. See, as PA is gearing up, you're wondering, oh, when's the next volume? It's just a volume awareness tool. When the next volume's coming in. So usually when you get the SMA cross like this, you're expecting like some kind of a volume. You see, now you see volume coming in. And you got that 8 SMA. See how they're respecting that 8 SMA right there? And it's holding like a form of a dynamic support. See that? Beautiful. Then you see once it starts to close it, you can become a bit cautious once it starts to close it. But it shows you, it's more good on the 1 minute time frame to show you from the entries push, like how the push is going to be from when you're getting into your position. Let's see, we're still kind of holding here for a bit on that 5 minute too. And now price is just inside of this range. Still a sideways movement now. How many pips do you aim for and how do you manage your risk? I aim for like about like 1 to 2%. Maybe like something like that on average. So I don't really look at the pips as much as I look at the percentage risk. You know? So, for example, for this trade, this was my stop loss, right? My stop was about 45 pips, but I reduced my stop loss here to... Oops. So from 45 pips, we reduced it to 17.1 pips. 17.1 pips. And I secured here at about 30 pips. So, you know, if you look at the risk to reward, that's like a 1 to 7. You know, because it's going to close out here anyway. But, you know, for me, I'm always thinking about the risk first. So even if that was becoming a losing trade, that I would lose less. But still have all the upside. So I just usually, I think more about the risk in terms of percentage. How can I reduce risk? Because, you know, some setups, I can have like 16 pip stop loss. You know, then the lot size has to change. Keeping it between like 1 to 2%. But I think, let's say 1 to 1.5%. Sometimes it goes a bit over. But around 1 to 1.5%. That's all you can play with, really. It's all you have control over is your percent. You know, sometimes you can't control where a risk to reward is going to go all the time. But you can control this. You know, like yesterday, I took 3 trades. I got 1 loss, 1 hit TP. These all hit TP1. But then the way I was playing it, my first trade was a loss. Oh, no, the first trade was a loss. The next 2 was TP1s. But this one, I couldn't secure in time, so I got break even. This one, I kind of just wanted to see it through. But you see, even though it kind of like taking a lot of trades, we're still looking to keep the risk low, you know, with the percent. So you don't always have to risk the same percent. You know, I think at the end of the day, you gotta find ways to keep your money that you make. Because right now I'm up like... Let's see. Oh wait, actually I can go on the spreadsheet. Yeah, about like 4.03%. So now you're just thinking to yourself, how can you keep this money that you made? And if you still want to take another trade, how can you maximize this day further? But you don't want to give anything back. I do everything on Excel and my Excel sheet is really good. I have insurance, etc. by spread out. I know the exact cost per month. I just love Excel. I use it for everything. I do the same like for real estate investments. Oh, nice. Yeah, a lot of people use the Excel. I just like the fact that Notion is a bit more fun. There's a way I can do it that's a bit more fun. Like it shows me damn, I can't even show you guys because like private stuff. But it shows you like, you know, if your main account, it shows you if your main account's like above a certain threshold. Let's say if it's like above like 80%, then it's gonna show like a tick. If it's below 80%, you can put like show like a drain battery. This is like a personal account. Then you can have your investments, and you can see. Oh man, it's just like it's so good. Notion is so amazing. Can you actually buy Notion stocks? My gold strategy has a winner 70-75%, but with a 1-to-1 RR. Any advice to refine it? I think that's already pretty good. A 1-to-1 RR, 70-75%. Just keep doing that. All you can do is like look at how you can lose less than. That's how you can make your winning trades outshine your losing trades. You know, so you just have to find out like when price is in drawdown, how can you lose less? Because, you know, if you can't control, like, if you can't keep going past that 1-to-1 RR, you know, if the probability is really low that it passes 1-to-1, the only thing you can do to outshine, to make your winners outshine your losers is by seeing how to manage risk and drawdown. Because then at this point, you can't force anything more than a 1-to-1 if your system just gives you that. Now we can see, like, what's the probability that some trades go to like a 1-to-2, and then maybe give yourself a chance to catch those runners. But I think you're better off looking at how to manage the drawdown more efficiently. See this? Man, awesome. We're in and we're out of the market like this. Because you see how difficult it is now to trade? Look at how difficult it is now to trade. Because it's not clear anymore. It's stuck inside this gulag. And then now this is a point where the market can make it difficult for people. So people who made, like, for example, money here, they kind of end up giving it back over here by overtrading. Correct? Because the market's going to pay you out. As long as you're not greedy, it will give you your profits. Stay disciplined, stay humble, take what you can for the day. And then, you know, you got to take your money and run. Take your money and run. Because now this is what it's doing right now. You see this? This is for the beginner traders when they need character development. This is usually now when the character development is happening. This character development period here. So just like in Call of Duty, when you get killed and you get sent to the gulag. So you got a lot of people get sent to the gulag here. So this is where a lot of us struggle. If you look at our experience in the first year of trading, right? This is where a lot of us struggle. This is the gulag where the market now builds your character. Little did we know at the time that profitability requires less and more thought out positions, not over trading. So you come, you take your trade, and then you leave. But we don't know this. We're trading for the first time. All this just looks the same to us. Because right here, this would be an area where I would be still trading or looking for trades in this zone. Getting that much needed character development. We see now I know like these yellows, they're gonna come, like the next one is gonna come later on for me. So we're gonna say like maybe somewhere around here. And then we'll let the market do all the character development until that next time. So this is just like a way of thinking about it, because yes, sometimes we have really nice PA in here and you could catch some really nice moves on some days, but it's more of just a way of thinking of how to be taking your trades so you're not over trading. Yeah, this is where the thick skin is built or people quit. It's building up these orders. You can see on the 15-minute, it's wicking quite a lot. This is why I also started trading the lower time frames, is because I realized like, man, it's the higher time frames. It's kind of hard to get pushes on the higher time frames. You know, because you don't get a lot of detail. If you look at this from the 5-minute, it looks like a random entry right over here. So you don't really get a lot of detail. But the higher time frames are good for giving you like subtle hints. So you see like pullbacks, liquidity grab right here. That's the same liquidity grab that we saw on the hourly. Now you can all use that down to the lower time frame. So you got another liquidity grab right here. On the hourly time frame, you got it on the 5-minute. 5-minute reversal, V-shaped reversal. You got accumulation, manipulation, reversal. Then you start kind of like putting the pieces together like this. You know, so you got that extra detail. Got a nice clean range here on the 5 minute too. But this actually gave us a lot of space for a 5 minute entry as well as a swing entry. But I think the 1 minute was where it was really at. You can see we also got like one last liquidity grab below here too. Break below the lows and then start pulling up again. So we're already looking at all those liquidity grabs on the hourly time frame, the 5 minute, the accumulation, the manipulation, the reversal signal that we always talk about. Then we got another pattern right over here, another mini consolidation with an additional liquidity grab to the downside to confirm the entry is moving up. Clean range on the left hand side on the 5 minute. That's it. You know, a little SMA confluence, even though we didn't really have too much of that until we actually broke above. And that's it. You know, the market kind of gives it away. You can also see like right here, another liquidity grab, potential liquidity grab, price moved up, stuck in a consolidation. It's probably trapped some sellers in here as it's attempting to break these highs so it can try and continue to move up bullish. See, it's the same thing that basically happened here. It's the same thing that happened here, but that had a lot more confluence from higher to lower time frame. But this is like on the 1 minute chart that you can see this one right here. See, these are like TFX concepts because, man, when I was learning how to trade, like nobody was teaching me this stuff. That's how I know you guys are gonna excel so much faster than I did too. Because like, man, it took me months and months and months to figure stuff out. You know, no one taught me any of this. Because the way people teach these things, I found was quite like confusing. You know, it's quite confusing. It's kind of like hard to replicate because they're always using like really old price action. But it's much easier to replicate and understand when you're trading what's currently printing. But from what I was learning from a lot of people is like really old PA that already happened previously, looking back at it. But it's a different story when you're actually doing it in real time. You know, in real time, the market is going to give you those entries. How long I've been trading for? Almost 6 years now. It would be like 6 years by the end of this year. I started exactly in December of 2019. Identify patterns on higher time frames. Use lower time frames for confirmation and refine entries. Is that what you're suggesting as well? Yes. Yeah, exactly. Let me know about Bitcoin. If you're invested in Bitcoin, just forget about it. You know, invest in it and forget about it. If you're invested in Bitcoin for the long term, don't look at the chart so often. You know, I don't know if you're trying to like day trade it or you're investing in it for a long time, but try not to look at it too much and keep up with the fundamentals too. Like what's the news saying on Bitcoin? Because the news is what's going to drive the price of Bitcoin up. You know, just like with gold, we're always looking at the news and saying, okay, you know, gold hit record highs in the US, rate cut hopes. Now we know why price on gold is moving up. You know, we got US rate cut hopes. So you got to do the same for Bitcoin to see why is Bitcoin moving up. What's this? Legendary trader Peter Brandt explains why 10% of every portfolio should be Bitcoin. I haven't spent 50 years. Yeah, you got to look at this stuff. You got to look at this stuff. But right now, technically speaking, on the 4 hour, it looks like Bitcoin has some legs to continue moving up here. Like 4 hour looks like we just did a small liquidity grab below here. Broke above resistance, candlestick close above resistance, breaking the top wick. I think Bitcoin could see a bullish day today. We're already up 0.37%. Daily looks like it just tapped into a support area over here. You got some room on the daily to move up. I should probably buy. You got an inverted head and shoulders here. You had a resistance, inverted head and shoulders. Could be accumulation, manipulation, distribution to the upside. Hit targets here by resistance. Got some profit taking. And then price has done profit taking. Back into the gulag. So it's retesting these previous entries over here. And we're seeing a bit of that bullish volume coming. Same thing that happened literally right here. It came to retest the entries. You see this? How it came up, hit the resistance, and then it came down to retest the entries, and then moved up. That's what Bitcoin is doing. It's just happening. It's the same thing, but it's like, it's the same concept, you know? Same concept. Boom, boom, profit target. And I think it's got some room to move up. Let's see, you got resistance over here on the 30. 15 lines up beautifully. Oh, man. Yeah, I think that's what you got to get through. You got to get through 113,479. You got to get through this resistance here. You got some clean traffic. Oh, you also got clean traffic right down here too. It's breaking. It's accumulating. Oh, entries are coming in right now. Actually, there's potential entry on Bitcoin right now. Because price has broken above. It's accumulated here. You got some nice range. It's starting to break this wick to distribute from this area to continue moving bullish. Look at Goldie. Goldie's also been accumulating here, and it's doing the same thing. You see how I broke above? See how I broke above this consolidation right here? I told you that's why this was liquidity grab. This was the smoking gun right here. See that? And then broke above the highs to continue to move up bullish. Now it's distributing again. See, 90% of the time it consolidates. Like, you only got to get some small distributions, and then it consolidates. It takes a small little break over here, consolidates, and then distributes again. It's currently in a distribution here. It's coming out of that zone. $2025 price action is kind of shit. What do you think? Oh, I think it's pretty good. I'm up like 200%, 236%. Thing is, it's just the same as always. It just, you know, this year is pretty. It's like every year is not gonna be exactly the same. But if you're good at adapting and you have a good outlook on markets and a good character development, then you can make every year pretty decent. You can have a pretty decent year every year. Because the market will only ever move up, sideways, and downwards. You know? So I would say the only shit year I can say is maybe for the instruments that you trade. So for example, let's say you trade GJ. Man, it's been a shit year for GJ. Look at GJ's price action. What is this? Things looking like the VIX right now. GJ is looking like this. Things looking like silver or something weird. Maybe even silver looks better. But this year has been a shit year, I can admit, for something like GJ. A lot of low volume, a lot of consolidation. Look at that. Look at these wicks. Man, whenever you see wicks like this, you just gotta stay away. This is like hazard. GJ has had a shit year. Vic, did you hit the millionaire status in Kenya already? It's not that hard to be a millionaire in Kenya. It's literally like $9,000. I'm worried so many people are in a buy. Traps might come anytime now. People take a buy already. And there's a profit. They're in profit right now, sir. It just pushed up from the entry like about 28 pips. I'm a millionaire. That's the funny thing about Emerging markets or exotic currencies. You can become millionaire pretty fast. Nice 2 trades in Asia plus London with you, Vic. Done. W. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's trying to break out of this massive. There's also another massive accumulation here. You see this? This is also another liquidity accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Now it's trying to break up above the secondary area over here. It's like 37.58. So you see, when you got like a concept, a way of looking at markets, you can make sense of the what do you call it? Of all the price action. You know, once you get your top down to lower time frame analysis, you gotta make a lot of sense to all the price action happening here. Because as we already broke it down, there was one right here we executed on, and there was one right here that we kind of like pivot trading with that potential fake out right below here, and then there's one just above here. You see, so when you get your concept, when you know what you're looking for, it becomes a lot easier for you to put the pieces together. But if you don't know what you're looking for, it becomes super confusing. So even if we're on the 5 minute, I can already see on the 1 minute what the entries were looking here. Then now it's trying to break this one so it can make its way to the all-time highs, which is really not that far off. We need to break above 37.59. It's creating an inverted head and shoulders here too. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's a right shoulder volume that just came in. So that was a nice confluence for this move on the 1 minute time frame for price to move up. It was that right shoulder right here. See this, chat? And don't forget, we still have that hourly liquidity grab below here. So you see this? Man, there's no escaping it. You got to put the work in. There's no escaping it, guys. There's no one simplified way of looking at markets. You really have to put the work in. Because, you know, it's also good because it makes you into a better trader. It gives you confidence. It makes you level up. You know, thank God it's not so easy that all you got to do is just always... You know, that's why people love trend lines. Because with trend lines, you don't really got to do so much work, if we're being honest. You know, trend lines is the most easiest thing to draw. You just got to draw something like this. You can draw something like that. You don't really have to put that much effort into a trend line. That's why people love trend lines. Usually, I think people who trade trend lines also just don't have a lot of trading knowledge. That's just my opinion. Because I've seen it. I've seen these mentors who trade these trend lines and stuff. They don't really have depth to the analysis. Like, guys, you gotta admit, we got pretty good depth here. Right? We have pretty good depth here when it comes to breaking things down. Like, it's very detailed, and I'm sure you can admit that some of this is some stuff you've never heard before. But I've seen some of these gurus, man, they just don't have depth. Because they've never really put that experience. It might not actually be profitable, but it's like they can just learn how to teach a trend line. Can see behind the smokes and mirrors. People aren't really big as they seem. Little J. Cole verse. Tory trades uses bullshit trend lines. You just gotta give the people what they want, right? Some people don't actually want to learn how to trade. They want kind of like a very watered down approach. You know, maybe they can get a trade here and there, but it's just like prolonging the journey. That's all that it's doing. 30 gonna close above probably. Time to crack ATH again. Got even a kiss of death situation that happened right here. All a trader has is their ability to manage risk. You know, once that ability to manage risk is no longer there, you can't, you will not respect the system anymore. Like you lose instant respect for the system. Like when I also saw that strategy for that trend lines of that person, put them in 50-60% drawdown, I was like, nah, that's not trading. As soon as trader also like blows an account, you know, we don't like to mention names on this channel. I try to avoid as much as possible. But yeah, we've seen this happen a lot. That's not trading. Like there's no way you can blow 50, 30, 20% and then, you know, to make that back is so difficult. Because you're always going to want a revenge trade. You're always going to want to like hold more runners. And sometimes the market will not give you those runners. So you end up having a lot more profitable trades becoming like losing trades. It puts you in such a low frequency when you take a big hit that it becomes so hard to get out of that area. You know, with like proper discipline, you are definitely going to want to a revenge trade. Hold beyond your means to make it back. That's why for me, I try, like, even if I get on a losing streak, I try to keep the losses as small as possible so I don't need to work as hard to get them back. So we just hit all-time highs, guys. Gold is at the all-time highs, 37.59. All-time highs, Goldie. Which am I using props? No, I'm not. I'm subs you now. You're so good with the talks. Thank you, I0. One thing I can promise you guys on this channel is I'm not going to sugarcoat things. You know, I try to be as open as possible about what's happening in the industry without coming off as I'm trying to attack somebody. But I'm also not going to bite my tongue. Because a lot of people are good, they're just biting their tongue, a lot of people. So I'll tell you guys how it is. I don't care. You know, all these traders and influencers, they mean nothing to me. So, you know, if you find something that is not right, you know, you can tell me about it and we can talk about it. Legend Master 7, thank you for the sub. Let's run, Goldie.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you running? It's running to 3790. Oh, 3800. 3790 to 3800. Are any of my runners still open? No. If I had a runner, it would have been stopped out of break even. Oh, unless I scaled into the secondary entry here. Because I had one entry here. There was another entry right here. There's only one that could have survived for the all-time highs. Was the second one. Oh, Lee, look at this 1 minute candle here. Pushed up like 27 pips. Damn, imagine we got that candle for our entry. Look at this. This would have been an instant take profit of 30 pips basically in one minute. Just get one candlestick, just move up like this. I haven't had a trade like that in a while. Most of my trades take some time to like play out. GJ is dumping. Oh, let's see. GJ on the daily is down 0.11%. So bad. Such a... Oh, damn. What happened, GJ? What happened, GJ? Pull out like 42 pips. What did we have come out? We have flash manufacturing PMI. We got negative numbers. Oh, and we got flash manufacturing PMI for the dollar as well for the New York session. And we got Powell speaking today too. Man, today's gonna be crazy. It's already crazy. Sheesh. This looks like those instruments which don't move at all until they actually move. You know, we got some instruments like this. They consolidate and then all of a sudden they have a big move. But this is so bad. Like, how could you have caught this? You know, you'd have to be trading the news to catch that. Damn. Also, gold is just flying. Look at this 5-minute candle over here. Holy. This is like a shock and entry model, like small little break and a retest. Small little break and retest off the all-time highs right here. Then re-break of the highs. Candlestick close above resistance. But you know, the only thing is there's no range on the left-hand side. So you're just buying the all-time highs. Candle broke above resistance. Keep moving up here. Man, just have a bullish bias on gold. If you got a bullish bias, most of the time you're going to be on the right side of the market. If you take like a sell, it's going to be short-term. I was scared to trade that news, but it was worth. Sheesh, look at this. It's about like 70 pips here. Goldie's got its head in the sky, in the clouds. Selling it now, let's see. How high can you go? I told you, chat, like, remember what we talked about yesterday in terms of how price consolidates at key levels as it's trying to break those key levels? Look at what we have happen here today. Literally, if you've been tuning into this stream, you must know what I'm talking about. Write a 1 if in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. If you've actually been paying attention, and just be honest. Be as honest as possible, guys. Write a 2 if you don't know what I'm talking about and you've been watching this stream for at least a month. That, you know, like this thing about how price behaves right below a zone that it wants to break. Be honest with yourself. And you've been at least watching for a month. Write a 2 if you don't know what this is. Like how we spoke about this, how price behaves before breaking key level. Because we spoke about this yesterday. I've showed this example so many times. Remember that last example I showed about crossing the street, like with the traffic guy? I should make a reel about that. But remember that one with the traffic guy? How the traffic guy, you know, was like saying stop on this end to allow candlesticks to come on through. What the question just came back? If you understand the concept behind price consolidating below a key level. If you understand why price does that. So you got the traffic guy over here. His traffic hat and his whistle. He got a whistle in his mouth. He's gonna say, hey, you know, you gotta stop the traffic. Because there's no more traffic here. See the traffic stop? You gotta stop the traffic. So you can let these guys come on through. Yay, secured another 40 pips. Total of 120 pips for me today. I'm done for the day. 100 pips my target. Let's go. Yeah, I think you're done for the day. Gold literally on steroids since days. Yes. So we didn't have... Okay, so we got a few votes in here. We got 400 people, but less than 10 people voted something. The one that answered 2 must be new or one time in a month. That's how he said, like, you know, markets are fractal, right? So you can have an entry here. There was a small one here. And remember, we talked about the big one here. So it's still playing out the higher time frame ones with the liquidity grab to the downside on the hourly. That was still currently what was in play. Super important to understand how markets are fractal. Because a lot of the time people get too caught up in the single time frame that they're trading and forget you can get so much confluence on these other ones too. Oh, so every time I'm missing the good level. You've only been on the stream less than a month, Ashi. So I think like you gotta like understand, you gotta give yourself time. I don't know how long you've been trading for, but you just gotta give yourself time. Because understanding this might be easier for someone who's been trading for at least longer than a year. But you know, the concept itself is very simple. You know, it's like, you know, we got accumulation. And then the rest of it is just like confluence, the liquidity grabs and using the higher time frame to the lower time frame. That's all like additional confluence. But if you just understand the one concept, that is markets move upwards, sideways, and bearish, that's a good foundation. So that's what you're seeing happening here. But instead, price had moved up, bullish. It distributed bullish from this area. So that's like your foundation. Then you start looking at that. You're going to see it happen over and over and over again. And you're going to understand the different ways that it happens. You know, it doesn't always form so nicely like this. Sometimes it forms like this. Sometimes it forms smaller. You know, you got to understand which ones to take. If you're in line with the daily trend or you're going counter trend, how you're going to manage your trade. Look at this accumulation on the top. So good. I don't want to take more trades. Oh, yeah. It's like you got one here on the break of this high. When this candlestick had to first close and then break of this high by 37.66. It's still a better probability for a buy, to be honest. Like, if you think about it, you'd rather take a buy here. You still take a buy. That would be TP2 smashed. Right there. Let's go, boys. That'll be TP2 smash. Oh, you're still in the trade we entered earlier? Holy. So you accepted a bit of drawdown here, but you know the good thing about it, even the drawdown didn't hit the 35% drawdown mark. So it still respected that general zone. So that's where the stop was. So you came pretty close, but it didn't break through it. So it's still within that risk. Worst case scenario, 35% a drawdown on that position. Not like the full account, but the general drawdown of the 1%. It's got like 30%, 35% of 1%. That's what I mean, chat. Like, good trades don't give you a hard time. Like, yeah, you're gonna have like trades retest entries, you know, they're gonna push up, they're gonna retest, but they don't give you a hard time. They just go in your favor. See this? Like how I just went up here, how I went up here, and also like how I went up here. I went up here. This was also another entry model right here, another consolidation breakout. Man, all the consolidation breakouts are just playing out right now. 1, 2, 3, and then even the one all the way up over here, 4. What is gold doing?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Gold is running. It's running, my friend. Missed a break on my way to work. No problem, no problem. Don't trade like, you know, when you got stuff to do like this, that's gonna create you a lot of anxiety. It's gonna create you a lot of stress. You know, like how you're on your way to work. I used to do that as well. The problem with that, it's not good, man. It's not good. It creates like a lot of like stress. You know, you're gonna be at work, you're gonna be looking at your phone, you're gonna take longer than usual breaks in the bathroom, looking at the charts, waiting for an entry. Maybe you can catch a quick entry in the bathroom. Like it's not a good habit. If there was one thing I would have changed, was that I wouldn't take my trading to work with me, because it actually created me more work. But you know, that's for if you're actually looking to trade. If you're looking to trade. But like I used to listen to audiobooks, trading audiobooks and that sort of thing, but try limit the amount of trade that you're gonna take. Yeah, exactly. I see you, man. I see those long bathroom breaks. Those annoying customers come in or whatever it is that you do for work. Then you're like, damn, man, like now I gotta talk to this person. Part of my plan is not trading at work. Yes. Man, it's like I used to treat my boss like I'm doing them a favor. You know, being at work. When I started trading, I was like, I feel like I'm doing you a favor with being here. But in reality, she was doing me a favor, because like at the time I had a really nice boss, like had a lot of freedom. But it always felt like that because I wanted to trade, that I was doing them a favor. Lol, this morning your entry I was seeing also, I got it at the same spot. I was in the bathroom. Couldn't hold anymore. Yeah, that's the worst. That is the worst. Like when you really gotta use a bathroom, right? So you got a decision to make. Are you gonna make money or are you going to use the bathroom? Sometimes I take a shit that costs me like, you know, $500, $1,000. So it's like, damn, you gotta make a decision here. Are you gonna use the bathroom? Are you gonna take the move? Because you know the problem is, a lot of us, you know what happens? We're a slave to the market. So we find ourselves in that position more often than not, because we don't have a cutoff time. You could be on the chart the whole day, but you can't be on the chart the whole day. When are you gonna find time to do other things? So that's why it's important to have yourself like a time in the market that you're trading. So that way you know there's gonna be a low probability of any distractions. It happens to all of us. I remember one time watching a MambaFX vlog where he was taking a trade in the bathroom. You know, because some people trade like that, man. Like some people, they don't have a choice because of the way they trade. It's like, okay, if price is coming down to this level and you wanted to take a buy on this level, you don't know when it's going to come to that level. It can come down to that level maybe when you're meeting somewhere, maybe you're driving the car, maybe you're at work. You don't know when it's coming to this level. You're just going to get your alert. That's the worst type of trading style. You know, it's like super uncontrolled. You can't control your schedule at that point. So you actually are basing your lifestyle around the market and not the opposite way around. Because the way I operate, the market is, my lifestyle is around the market. Right? So the market doesn't control when I'm going to be taking my positions. What's painful is when you put off bathroom visit and end up making 500 loss. Yes. Oh no, what's painful is like if you really gotta go and then you take the trade because it's happening. Now you gotta manage. Now you gotta sit there and just wait for it to at least push a bit more into profit. But now you're kind of like stuck. You can't even do anything. Unless you take your phone. You take your phone, it's not as comfortable. Yeah, price just running right now. Holy, let's go, Goldie.
Why are you running?
Let's go 3,800. On that note, I'm gonna go and take a quick leak. Gotta drain the main vein. I'll be right back. I was just seeing an entry. It looks so good. Consolidation breakout plus shotgun. Which one? This one back here? This one I think was consolidation shotgun. Yeah, the morning trade you took also. And risk reward like this only possible on the 1 minute time frame. If you're looking for like a good risk reward, it's only possible like this on the 1 minute. Man, you know what's crazy? This was the only system that I ever found which can give me like, because I chased risk reward quite a lot in the beginning, right? Like most of us do, because it's like the easiest way to kind of like approach that risk element in trading. It's just to use a risk reward, correct? So man, this was like the only way I could find it working. Like all the other systems I tried were so difficult. Because I thought like to get a good risk reward, initially I thought you had to get these types of entries. Because a lot of the people I was learning from, they were getting these types of entries. So for me, I was kind of already accepting that it has to be like this. And not something like going through the price action. But this is the only way you could do it. From what I've seen, yeah, from like how market moves, as you said, it only moves like up, sideways, and bearish. It's usually like that you only can get it. Because you can't get it in the distribution, you know? So you gotta get it like before it happens. I held W? No way. Send us a picture here on Discord of just the entry, like the triangles. Yeah, risk is discretionary, you know, like sometimes you're gonna hold, some people are gonna hold sometimes you're not gonna hold. But the good thing is, like, if you got a strategy which pushes more often than not, I think, you know, it's the best thing. At least it gives you a lot more options to hold. Because some people don't have that. You know, they have these strategies where their trades are like not always running, so they don't know like when should I hold. But you got a system that at least pushes most of the time, it increases the probability for you to have runners. Damn, that's crazy though. If you held from those main entries, that's like freaking 217 pips. That's crazy. Long from 15-minute FEG on 37.57 if you retrace there. You know why that's crazy? Because if you look at it from a risk reward standpoint and where our stop losses were, you would have had essentially a 1 to 12.74. If you care about that thing, that sort of thing. Is the surge news driven? Yes, it's macro news driven. It's a lot of exuberance. That's why I said, remember why I said, guys, you don't miss a move? Like, people think because of FOMC, oh, they gotta trade the FOMC, I'm gonna miss out. Man, you don't have to miss out. These moves are just like happening weekly. They're happening because once we got the FOMC and the rate decisions, don't worry, just sleep. You know, I'm not gonna miss any sleep on it if I'm not gonna be there to see what Powell says, because I know tomorrow when I wake up, pre-London's probably gonna be giving me entries. Not even pre-London. Like, look at how far we are in since then, since we had the FOMC, and price is still pushing up. So you don't miss a move. A lot of people think like the miss moves in the market, but you don't miss moves. That's just FOMO is all made up in your head. Oh, nice. A little 37.63. Okay. Oh, you also got change of character over here. See, break, change of character, reversal confirmation with your change of character indicator, I think. See, secured 0.02 where you see some secured. We got Woods with a ninja, a GIF. So you got some buys over here. Trailing your stop loss. Very well played. Dubs in the chat. W. What percentage do you target in a day? 2%. That does not mean 1 to 2 risk to reward. But 2%. It can just play with the percentages. Play with the percentages. Manage your risk. Manage your trades. Each trade is slightly a bit different. Some trades you can take more risk. Some trades you gotta take less risk. But in a day, if I'm getting anywhere between, let's say, 1% to 2%, I'm happy. Because sometimes I can't get the 2%. It's not possible. But yeah, W, man. Like, this is the point A, you know. This is like the bus stop, basically. So you see how we usually say, like, prices coming out of these areas? This is like the point A's. So you got bus stop over here. And then you see price distributes. Probably a lot of people are trying to chase it when it's already moving like this. You see? But this is like literally the bus stop. This is where you want to be most of the time. And as we already mentioned, that can happen fractally. It can happen on a higher time frame, and it can happen on the lower time frames. Like we saw happen here on the 1 minute. But those are all point A's. That's a point A. That's a point A. And this is a point A. It's all within the same zone. So that's where you want to cash the move, correct? This is what we all want to catch, right? This is the main thing that we want to catch. So you have to track it down to where most of the time the point A is. Say like my trade this morning. This was a move that we all wanted to catch over here to fill this range. So you got to track it down to where the point A is. Because once it moves, it moves. You know, that's distribution. See, it distributed for London. This paid off London. Think about it this way. This was an Asia session move. This was like pre-London. Pre-London had one move today. Right? From point A. And then London session had one move so far today. Again, from point A. And then pre-NY is going to have maybe like, you know, another move. It's going to form another point A. Because right now it's a distribution. So, you know, you got to wait for more structure to form. And that's it. And majority of it is just waiting then in between. I think it's really going to try 3780. Another consolidation now with a fake out. With 3780. I would not be surprised to see it just keep pushing. To be honest, we got like the new hourly candlestick that's about to open up here. Look at this. Look how big this candle is. 220 pips. Best time to play some hell drivers. They got new hourly open. Best time to play the new Silent Hill game. I'm not really too much of a fan of Silent Hill, but I don't know, this new one kind of looks interesting. Creepy game. Just want one more on buys now. Damn. Greed is a hell of a drug. But you still got a higher chance it moves up than it moves down, to be honest. Like, price is still moving up. Until it actually changes direction, there's no reason to think that it's just going to change direction out of your feeling here. Hello, can you tell us when will be a good time to sell? No. It's not a good time to do anything. If you're going to be a little bit more risky, I don't know why. Because you've been on the chart the whole time. You literally could have caught like the one here, the one here, the one here, the one here. Like, why take this one here? Because, you know, sometimes it happens to us. Like, you can do what you want. But, like, sometimes it happens to us, like, this habit of missing the trades. Like, sometimes we got this habit. It's almost like a self-destructing habit that we have. We like to miss trades. I don't know what it is that happens to some of us. Like, maybe some of y'all can relate to this, but we like to miss trades only to take the shit ones. You know, if you can relate to that, you can leave a 1 in the chat if that's currently what's happening to you. Like, you're missing the good trades to take the shit trades. And it's like a self-destructive, it's almost like self-destructive. It's like subconsciously you want to lose for some reason. And the reason for me was, when I was going through that period, the reason for me was that I wanted to learn. You know, so I wanted to lose because I only saw when I was losing, I was actually learning something. You know, also you could be relating to it like that too. That subconsciously you're wanting to lose because maybe you're wanting to learn. I think there's a lot of power in losing. You gotta smash losses like this. You gotta get through those losses because you gotta learn so much from it. Buy or sell? Man, I'm gonna put you in the timeout here. This is not those streams that you're usually gonna go and spam. It's so moving up. Ricardo, it's not a good idea. You close it, but it's not it's like risky. But you see, I said there's still a higher chance it moves up until it actually changes. This is why I say don't overtrade. Because you see, when you overtrade, you don't see it through. You're gonna have more of these like smaller losses, which are gonna add up later. That's a problem with like overtrading, because you don't have confidence in the trade when you're taking it as a I'll just give it a shot type of trade, you know? Yeah, but trust me, a lot of people thought about selling here too. So it's like there's still a higher chance it moves up than it moves down. Because I imagine the surprise that people got right here. You know, imagine the surprise. I thought, oh, you know, we're probably topping off now. Boom. Another 57 pips for you, sir. What do you mean topping off? All right, bet. The market said bet. You want to take a sell here? Bet. Show you what a sell looks like. Maybe you're going to invert the scale, then it looks like a sell. Yeah, I think, you know, we can laugh at it now. Because you know, when you go through this, in the beginning, it's not funny, right? Because, you know, that's going to be you. But when you learn from these mistakes, you can kind of like laugh at it now.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Where are you running to? Let's see. Daily, we said 70. We said a 37,800. 37,800 because 3790 to 37,800. Price is up right now like 0.88%. Just push up like 430 pips. Why are you running? Why are you taking sells? Why are you gay? Why are you gay? You're taking sell when price is moving up. Huh? Why are you gay? How do you think Jerome Powell's upcoming speech will impact the market charts? Oh, I think it's already impacting it now. You see, again, the retail trader is going, you know, no, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying in general, the retail trader is going to wait for Powell to speak and say, oh, well, I wonder what he's going to do with the market today. You can already see it's moving up. Market's moving up. People are already getting into buys, anticipating Powell is going to say something that's more similar to what he said when we got the rate cuts. Because when you got the rate cuts, you know, we're all expecting price to move up. And it's a very bad habit. Like, because people don't like due diligence. They just like the easy stuff. Wait for the NFP number to come out, take a buy, take a sell, buy stop, sell stop. That's what people like. They don't like actually putting in work. You know, like, for example, this has been already quite obvious here since February 22nd when Powell had his speech that price was most likely going to go for rate cuts. So you can see like the smart money people, the ones who actually understand markets, they're already getting stuck in much earlier. And then the retail trader was coming in for interest rate cuts up here. So instead of price moving up, it moved down because that's retail trader mindset. It's like very short term, very like most of the time too simple. But it's not rocket science at the end of the day. You know, it's just more obvious to me now because I've been trading for almost 6 years, but it's really not that complicated. I mean, TradingView already does so well to show you all the macro fundamentals here, like literally right under your nose. It's telling you why price is going up, and you're still gonna ask why is price moving up. It's showing you every single day why price is moving up. Look at it. Let's go buy. Going to leave to down other stuff because if not, I won't stop. Wish you a great day. Yeah, Ricardo's got to run away now. Like Ricardo ran away. He said, damn, I can't do this anymore. I just took a buy and I closed it early and then price shot up 50 pips. Because now you see you're battling with your emotions. Loving it, now sold the top and close MT5. Okay, so you close the top again, but you're so right. And that main issue is my RSI concepts. You see, that's another problem. Like when you got when you got an entry which is always showing you an entry confirmation, it's even harder to resist the urge of trading. Because there's always something, you know. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta run away from yourself. As I said, chat, the human brain is not designed to help you. The human brain is designed to keep you, you know, and a lot of things in society and the way we just generally live our lives, it keeps us very docile. You know, so we have to always think of our mind like as an enemy, because the human mind is not designed to give you all that confidence and give you good habits. Most of the time, it does the opposite. You know, for example, that's why you get anxious before public speaking events, because the human mind is kind of like trying to play a trick on you. Because sometimes you can be anxious and not anxious at the same time. Like your heart could be beating, but somehow you're calm. Because, you know, like somehow the human mind's playing tricks on you. How much money do you need to be comfortable with trading? I'll say like $5,000. It's pretty comfortable. But you know what you should do? You should take $500 account to $1,000 in the next 3 months. And then withdraw that profit and apply for a funded program where your 1% is maybe going to be like $100. And every week, make a good habit of making weekly withdrawals into your live account. It's trying to protect you? Yes. Man, you know, I got a pretty good idea here for Zoom. And I hope one day they're going to do this, but they're going to make an AI, because Zoom doesn't really have AI yet. I think they only got AI for other stuff, but they don't really have AI. They should make like an AI here where I can type in, for example, draw me a human brain. And then it's like draws a picture of a brain. Draw me a human brain with bad trading habits. Then I can draw a human brain with bad trading habits. Because I'm very big on visual learning. I feel like the more visual I can provide you guys, the better. Like, because visual learning is a lot faster. Actually, you perceive information a lot faster visually than you do orally. So we gotta wait on that. I took 100 to 800. Is that good? Man, that's amazing. Amazing. But you see, if you took it to 800 from $100, then you gotta be smart enough to know if that was luck, if you're lucky, or if you're actually like following some kind of a system you're confident in, and that you can replicate this properly with good risk management. Because if you know, if you're lucky, man, just be honest with yourself. Be honest, because I've had students come to me after they flip like, you know, $500 into like 5,000, 10,000, but they were able to say like, hey man, this was luck, but I actually invested a portion of this in my education because I know I'm not going to replicate this again. So you're at that point. There's only two ways this is going to go, right? You're either going to give this all back to the market, or you're going to use a portion of it to actually invest in your education. Those are only two ways this is going to go if that was luck. If that was luck, you're not going to last very long. And the reason you've been able to do that is because you're in the right market conditions to do that. Because right now gold is just moving up. You know, a lot of people are going to get lucky in this market because it's just moving mostly bullish. So it's only, you might get away with it for a little while. Heck, you might even get away with it till the end of the year. You know, the problem will come when the markets go back to normal, which it is 90% of the time. Vic, should I hold my buy at 37.46? As I said, this thing's heading up to like 800, 3,800. We're already pretty close to 37.90 here. It's like 64 pips. But when we started the stream, our analysis was for like, you know, 37.90, 800. Look at how close we are to this 3,800 mark. Man, what a beautiful distribution too. Look at this thing. The great lock-in has begun, everybody. Winter has arrived. We knew this was coming because of the rate cuts. The great lock-in, where everything you do will count for 2. Double XP weekends. Missed my entry with 3 pips. Oh, damn. We need to find the difference between this company's money and that company's money. It's the same money. Yeah, guys, when GTA 6 comes out, I might take a break for like 2 weeks. I might be in my own kind of lockdown for like 2 weeks when GTA 6 comes out. We will probably stream here on Discord. Yeah, you gotta... You place a stop loss? Oh, I think, was it Angie? Oh yeah, Angie, look at this. You place a stop loss, right? What is a stop loss? This was probably your reaction when you saw your trade. Without the stop loss. Like, what? Some of y'all charts still look like this. Trying to break into the matrix with force. You can't break into the matrix with force. This is like you're hitting on a force field. You know, you're like doon 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 doon. That's how that looks. You're trying to figure out the market, but it's not gonna let you in. The universe is telling you you're not gonna get in. You're not gonna get in, so you're stuck behind the dome. See these little Fibonacci circles over here. Man, my chart work looked like this. Well, not exactly like this, but it looked crazy like that. Way too much stuff going on. But you see, nowadays I basically have zero analysis on my chart. Sometimes I just like mark out the levels so you can see the levels, but a lot of this chart work is already done in my head, you know. You don't have to mark out the levels because it's actually less efficient to mark out the levels. It takes a lot more time to mark out these levels. It's less efficient and it creates a lot of distraction as well. There's so much distraction when it comes to marking out all the levels. It's like, you know, tricycle, you gotta have those tricycles in the beginning, but later on you gotta like remove them. Those extra things. Yeah, today was a pretty good day to do this though. So you got like taking profits, a lot of us, some of the time like this, and then that devil on our shoulder comes and says, but it can still keep going up. You're in a gold buy, but it can keep still going up. Look at this. You can have a 1-to-1. Oh, sorry. Wait, let me draw this again. You can have a good solid 1-to-1 risk to reward here. You know, 100% you can achieve this. Or you're going to come here and it's going to tell you, hey, listen, buddy, we can do a 1-to-10. You know, we just got to hold it a bit longer. Trust me. But you know, this is going to be like a 50% chance. It's got like 50% chance. But I think this probability actually increases a bit more because of the macro fundamentals surrounding gold right now. that you're at least having volume to make such a move like this possible. Problem is, like, we don't know this. A lot of the time we don't know this, so we end up doing this system when we don't even know if there's volume in the market to continue pushing upwards. That's the only difference. So this would be actually a little bit more than 50% in this scenario, but still, it's not a good habit. Especially if you don't know who moves the market and what moves the market, then you shouldn't be doing that. $2K profit closing and going to the gym. I can't even see the candles on that. That tool was this tool right here. He was using the fib circles, which is insane. You know, I thought price only moves up, sideways, and bearish. I didn't know we could move in circles. How the hell do you use this thing? It's like an interdimensional type of trading. We should just leave this on the chart for people who join the stream for the first time. And then just start messing with people. Looks like Katy Perry concert. Yo, that actually looks quite sick. That looks like 3D. Yo, do you guys feel like it's going through the screen? Damn it. Hand-eye coordination is a bit of an issue here. Look at that 3D trading. Out in cinemas. In your nearest cinema. July 24th. Yeah, we need to watch a video on how to use this Fibonacci circle though. This is how it feels like watching an ICT video. Join the cult. Join the cult. You got like, man, so many people watch that. But I bet you majority of people don't even know what's going on. They just like the idea of that kind of institutional type of trading, which is something I fell into as well. I fell into that too. I like the idea of these kind of institutional looking like things, you know. I think you can learn from it. You can learn something from it, but in the end, I tell you, maybe I use 0% of it now. The only thing I took away from the guy I was learning that institutional type of way was the wick breaks. The only one thing I could take away from it was wick breaks, like how important it is for candles to break wicks. Out of all the complicated stuff he was teaching, that was the only thing that actually stuck with me. The wick breaks, because wick breaks confirm momentum. Like, you know, chat, like you guys taught me about FVG. I didn't know about FVG until I started streaming. I even remember I used to ask you guys, like, what's an FVG? Are you a full-time trader, sir? Yes. But I don't like telling people I'm a trader. Because the percentage of people who make money in trading is so low that when I tell them I'm a trader, they think I'm gambling. So I just tell them I'm I just tell them I'm a investment banker, or not even investment banker. I'm just in finance. Just tell them you're in finance. Someone asks you if you're a trader, just say you're in finance. They'll probably say something along the lines of, oh, that's cool. Because at the same time, people are also like financially literate, so they won't really have many comments about that. But if they dig into it, just say, you know, you manage some portfolios for yourself. And if they really dig into it, you're just gonna have to tell them you're a trader. Then they're gonna say, oh damn, you know, I tried trading once, but I couldn't do it. Isn't it gambling? They say yes. Yes, it is. It's the easiest way to deal with lemmings. It's very hard to explain complicated things to lemmings. You know, it just becomes like there's no point. Jeez, man, where's Goldie going?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Look at this. We've already broken here like 43 pips. We're heading up towards like 3,800. Oh, man. Moment of silence for anybody taking a sell over here. No, Ricardo's coming back. There's no way Ricardo is not coming back. I will see Ricardo will say that he's joined the Zoom call again. How much do you guys want to bet, chat? Ricardo's coming back. He can feel it. His spidey senses right now are tingling. His hairs are going up on his arm. Like, oh, gold is going up. We can get like a sell. He kind of likes these sell ideas. He's pretty disciplined as well. He takes proper moves, but at the same time, he can't resist these when price pushes up so heavily to take a sell. Maybe this is the one. Because, you know, you can only catch one dip. And if it's attracted, you see, this is the problem with that strategy is because if price is attracted to a key level, like, you know, you got here 3,800, this is like a magnet. So it's not about like any kind of strategy you can get for a sell over here. If price is going to 3,800, it's going to 3,800 first before any sort of sell confirmations come. And probably the sells, because if you get a sell, oh wow, look at this. We took a sell here and it moved down. But the thing is, like, if you take a sell, you'll probably first need to consolidate a bit. And then it might even fake out some entries before it actually sells off. So it's a lot harder to catch a sell like this, for example, because I think a lot of people think they can just do it like this to take the sell up here and then have that play out in their favor. But most of the time, the market will need to create some structure first. So it'll probably hit you out and then maybe even fake out a bit and then have the move. Because remember, we're on the market's clock. The market is not on our clock. It doesn't have to move just because we got somewhere to be. I'm watching you for a few days now, and can you tell me how can I get a little bit ahead of fundamentals? Just pay attention to what Powell is saying. Pay attention to latest updates on the instrument you're trading. Like you see right over here, why is price moving up on gold? Just like simple as that. Pay attention to the forex factory, what we have in store for the day. That's gonna give you a hint of what to expect for the rest of the day. So for example, right, we got Powell speaking today. It's bolstering gold's appeal to go up because we have Powell speaking. You know, here's a reason why price is moving up in the first place. Correct? So like since he's speaking today, there's a higher probability price moves up. So that's why I think like forex factory is pretty good. And you know, we also got Trump speaking today. Look at this. You got Trump speaking, we got flash manufacturing, and we got Powell. So you know, you can kind of like, he's speaking twice actually. Trump is speaking twice today. So those are all like indications of volume. Man, look at this. US dollar is super weak as well. Another indication right here. Another confluence. You got negative correlation on the dollar versus gold. And then you got like a weak yen. That's not important though. But the dollar is important. Got a weak dollar. What else do we got here? You know, you got your Federal Reserve website here. And after all of this, someone is still going to ask me again. But you see now, if you go on FOMC, it'll also show you the percentage of easing. You know, it's kind of coming down a bit though. We were like 92. Now it's down to 89.8. We got October, and this is October. We have rate cuts again in 36 days in October. And then we have one more in December. So that's how you can stay ahead of the fundamentals. So you're just going to keep monitoring this. Because Powell's going to speak today. This easing percentage could change as well, depending on what he says. It could even go down, like really down, or it can go up to 100 again. So we're going to see at the end of the day. I'm going to come back here and you're going to see this number maybe changes when Powell is done talking. or at the end of the day, or tomorrow. I don't know when they actually update this. Where is he speaking? Oh, we can go. He's going to be speaking at the Economic Outlook at the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce Economic Outlook Luncheon in Rhode Island. That's where he's going to be speaking. A, don't draw that. We don't need that sell energy active. I'm so close to passing. Bro, you should... What are you close to passing? I feel like anybody who was passing anything today should have already passed it by now. Because price has moved up so much. Accounts got passed today 100%. Accounts got passed today. I'm going that around where I live. So, you know, a concept that we usually talk about on the stream is how when price consolidates like this is kind of like an auction house. So you can kind of imagine like an auction house between or I like to look at it as auction between buyers and sellers. So, you know, you got some accounting over here. This is how I look at it basically. You know, these little elves from, whatever you call them, from goblins, from Harry Potter, who do the finances. They're like very good at accounting. You know, they got like gold and stuff. And they're very good. They're basically bankers. So this is what I kind of imagine here. So, you know, you got the elves. You know, there's a lot of buying and selling. It's like an auction. Buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. It's creating accumulation. Then it's like written on the books. You know, it's written in the books. All right. So we got a Woods here with 100 orders for sells. We got Style here. Got some orders for buys. And it's like an auction, you know, auctioning, we're writing. Okay, so, you know, when it's time to close the books now, that's when we start to get distribution. So this guy just closed the book and then he makes the magic happen. Then it distributes the orders. And then sometimes, you know, we got to reopen the book to see, okay, guys, you know, before we head out, we're going to have like one more auction. If anybody wants to get in, you know, just put in your things. You're going to have buyers, sellers. Then you close the book and then it continues to distribute. It continues to distribute to the upside. So that's kind of like how I kind of look at it. You know, whenever we see these little periods over here, you're gonna open the book again, take in some more orders, and then, you know, it's gonna distribute. It's gonna open the book again, more orders, and then it distributes. Very efficient, those goblins. Really know how to manage their coins. Because, you know, at the end of the day, the market needs to manage its finances. Man, I can imagine someone watching this stream right now that probably think I'm joking, but, you know, it's like, bro, if you've been trading for like such a while, you're gonna have to make it interesting for yourself. You know, it's not always trading does not have to be boring. It doesn't have to be boring and so uptight where we need like Excel sheets and everything. Like literally it's a visual process, and the more you gamify it, like the more consistent you can be with it, at least in my opinion. Because the more you complicate it, the more unenjoyable it becomes, the more confusing it becomes. You know, so after a while, if you have a simplified approach to markets, you can have some really nice fun with it. But you know, at the end of the day, it is also, in like all seriousness, like the way it kind of works, at least in my head. Can you see my trade today in Asia? Please, just want to know whether it is an A+ setup or not. You see, people left the stream. Look, they're like, oh man, I can't believe I'm gonna listen to this guy. Need to go find ICT or something. Then they're gonna go learn all that complicated stuff to only lose money. That's the only thing that you benefit from those systems. You're just losing money in a more fancier way. But it's just a way to justify to yourself that you're actually trying to be as professional as possible. But you'll be surprised, in this field, a lot more of the degens, a lot more of the degens are the ones making the money. And a lot more of these like professors are the ones who are losing the money. It's like a degenerate sport. It's because we don't try and figure it out to the lengths that others do. But you know, this is so simple. Look at this. Beautiful. Same trade I took this morning. Clean range on the left-hand side. Accumulation breakout. Smaller liquidity grab below there. Trading at high volume time. That's a pre-London time. Perfect. Amazing trade. This is an excellent trade. That is an excellent trade. Imagine doing this on gold today. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fair value gaps here for gold to sell before it moved up too. But I think it's like when you use that in line with the direction, it can work pretty nice. Maybe you got one here. Let's see on the 15. From here to here. I think like overall market context is going to be very important. What do you think about using algo trading? No, I don't think it can compete with a human. Algo trading, like when you think about algo trading, it's mostly there to just facilitate the flow of money because money is always moving, right? Even on the weekends when the banks are closed, you know, money is always in circulation. During Asia session, London, New York session, even when the hedge funds are closed, money is still in circulation. So I think that's what the robots and the algos mainly do. They kind of like manage the circulation of money when humans are not available. But in terms of like just buying a $2,000 robot and expecting results from it, I don't think it's possible. Like you're much better off learning the skill for yourself. Like they say the Asia session is like an automated session. That's some kind of like a rumor I heard. It was like low volume during Asia, so it's a little bit more automated. But when it comes to the skill of trading, the best thing you can do is learn it for yourself. Man, look at this. Kind of breaking below support over here. But any sells, in my opinion, is still quite risky. But yeah, price has pushed up quite a lot. Due for some sort of retracement soon. It's creating all-time highs, you know, 37.90 now per troy ounce. Per troy ounce of gold. A troy ounce, by the way, is 31 grams. Because they needed to differentiate the difference between just a regular ounce, which is like, you know, 30 grams. So a troy ounce is 31 grams of gold. So it looks something like this. So small. So small. So a troy ounce of gold, something like this small, is costing you right now 37.83. Looking for shorts? No, sir.
We don't do that here.
A little head and shoulders there on the 1 minute. I want to find gold like what's that guy's actor's name? The one from High School Musical. Zac Efron. Yeah, Zac Efron. You guys watch Gold? Let me put you on a good movie right now. Gold by Zac Efron. Watch this movie, man. Like, he finds this massive piece of gold, like in the middle of a desert somewhere. And you know, they're gonna think about like how to get the gold out of the rock. So I don't want to give any spoilers, but this is like one of those slow burning movies, you know, where it's like not talking a lot, but there's a lot of context to it. I love those. Like, just beautifully done. Watch this movie called Gold. Look at that massive piece, bro. That's like generational wealth. This is yachts in Monaco wealth. Generational wealth. But when you go to like place like Monaco and you see like those yachts and people own those yachts, that's like generational wealth most of the time. Those are not rich. You know, a lot of the people that we see on social media, those are just rich. They just kind of like leasing cars and, you know, leasing a lifestyle. But generational wealth, man, like, takes time to build generational wealth and good discipline and good habits around money. And most of the time, it's the people who are boring who create that generational wealth. The ones who really look into the aspect of respecting money and understanding how to make it grow. And not the ones who just get rich. You know, like Warren Buffett type style. Like, you'll never see Warren Buffett in a Lambo, for example. Because like the respect you have for money and to grow money, it's like you gotta break certain boundaries. Like a rich frequency is lower than a wealthy mindset frequency. This is much lower. That's just to show off. That's why you see the NBA players, when you go to like an NBA game, you're gonna see NBA players and whatnot. They have like the best watch. They got like the best clothes sitting right next to a model. And then you got this nerd over here sitting in his sandals with a plain shirt, and that guy is probably like worth way more than the NBA player. But NBA player looks rich, but that guy is wealthy. That's how this trade kind of feels. Let's see. I saw a clip of it, the whole betrayal and stuff. Yeah. Oh man, don't spoil it for anybody. Such a W movie. We dancing around my SL now. That's so much in profit. I don't mind though. Oh, your trailing position. Yeah, you got to trail below the support. Because if we start to break below that support, you got some clean traffic down here. That's probably where your trail is. Yeah, being wealthy is boring. Not as fun. Because you actually are disciplined. Because you lose, you know why? It's because you lose the excitement almost of doing stuff with the money. It's like you're actually more looking at it as a sport to gain and accumulate as much than to actually spend it. So it gets boring. But you see, again, it's always like that. Like the skill, whatever it is you focus on, then that just becomes a byproduct. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve then becomes a byproduct. Because then you focus so much on the skill that the money doesn't even matter anymore. That's what I mean. Like, it's good to be disciplined. Like, this is discipline. Discipline is boring, but it works. Showing up every day, being consistent, it works. Yeah, that's probably what's out right now. Yeah, that's a good one. Because probably wouldn't be able to get in and out of the Lamborghini. What do you mean, like tall people? You see, like Shaq needs his own cars. If Shaq wants to get into a Urus, they gotta like redesign a Urus for him so it can fit in there. Oh, Tall Trader. I think Tall Trader, can you fit in a Lamborghini? Shaq needs his own custom bed. He needs his own custom shoes, cars, probably plates too. That giant. Gold is crazy. Can drop to 3,600 and come Friday. It's back to 3,800. Yes. But anyway, you know what they say, guys? Don't become a philosopher until you actually become rich, because it's only rich people who are gonna tell you money doesn't matter. You know, you're never gonna hear a poor person say that. So don't become a philosopher until you become rich. Yeah, damn. Okay, so sell's coming in here. It's filling the range on the left-hand side now beautifully. Kind of still a risky sell in my opinion, but you know, the setup kind of is there because it did push up quite a lot. Top probably can only fit in Revolto and Eurus. Candlestick here closed without a bottom wick too. No bottom wick there. But it's kind of like trying to fill this range from here to here. It's like 78 pips, 79 pips. Do you see yourself in a Lambo in the next 5 years? Those things are not really important to me, but you know, never say never. I think like they become more interesting to me when I'm getting it with passive income, not with earned income. I don't like the idea of spending this much time on the charts, even though I don't spend a lot of time, but still I don't like the idea of trading to do that. I like the idea more of something else to do that for me passively. That's the difference. Don't get caught up in the sauce. You know what you see on social media sometimes, it's not like not everything that shines is gold. You know, a lot of these people, they don't even know it yet, but they probably have some real serious financial problems. Like if they claim that you're just doing with trading and then just buying and trading and buying, then you know that's not a sustainable approach to building something more like solid for yourself. Because I don't see myself in the next 5 years, because right now trading is like, it's a big part of my income. It's like 80% of my income. So in the next 5 years, rather you can ask me where I see myself. I see myself trading having maybe 40% of my income. I think that's more of a goal than to have the same 80 and then just be in a Lamborghini. So it comes, and then my goal in the next 10 years is to bring trading to like 20% of my income, and eventually 10%, and eventually 5%. That's my kind of like goals. And then, you know, the rest of it will just come And one last question. I hope you're all living in the UK. So which platform do you recommend to trade on? Which is not bankrupt itself? Oh yeah, anybody who lives in the UK? We thinking it might go down to the 60s. To the 60s. You must be off your rocker, sir. Someone get this guy some meds. If you think price is gonna go all the way from here down to the 60s. You know, keep in mind the 60s are by 3,600. It's a pretty big drop, wouldn't you say? Pretty ambitious. Pretty ambitious considering the fact that we're still waiting on 2 more potential rate cuts for the dollar. It's not good to be a hero. Just go with where the orders are flowing. Because the trend is your friend until it bends. Oh, you meant 3760? Oh, okay, yeah. 3760, that's more believable. 3760 is somewhere like around here. Just to fill this range. Now we're in the 70s. Pretty nice. We're in the 70s. Looking at RSI, there should be a big retracement coming. For me, I'm thinking like, you know, the same way we took our first trade, I'm thinking the same thing here. Maybe it might give them a reversal confluence on these sellers. See like how price broke below support and then it starts to give them reversal confluence. So price gonna come down, and then move up again. A tale as old as time. Imagine how long the market's been doing that reversal confluence for. Because if you look at gold here off the quarterly time frame, right, you can see price action all the way up until the 70s. Yeah, since the 70s, this is January, this was Thursday, the 1st of January in the 70s. You know, imagine what you could have done during this time. Gold is like $40. You're gonna see maybe... These are like, yeah, man. It's like the 70s, $40. An ounce of gold was $40. Insane. Man. But imagine how long that price has been doing that same old price action. Look at this. This was in 1996. 1996. What do we got over here in 1996? We got liquidity grab confluence. We got accumulation. We got a breakout to the downside. Very nice. SMA cross confluence. 1996. Still the same old story. Look at this. Price came down. Beautiful clean range on the left-hand side. Price accumulated. Distributed upside. Very nice. Look at this. Reversal confirmation right here. I think maybe this is like a key level. Let's see if we go behind. Oh man, I think it was more of like this one right here. But you know, the market is fractal. So what you're seeing here on the quarterly is the same that would happen on the lower time frames as well. So you got a break below structure. Accumulation. Up here, point A. And you got point B. Down wherever. And then you got point A again. So price came down. This consolidated. Reversal confirmation to the upside. Clean range on the left-hand side. This is how our grandparents will be going to be trading TFX concepts. But I guess the concepts existed already before TFX. But look at this. Another one. Price high, clean range. This is the trade that I took this morning. Guys, this is literally the trade I took this morning. This was in a 19... Oh, this was what year? October 2019. Oh, this is 2019. Yeah, 2019. That was the same trade. This was a buy that we took this morning. Kind of like the same concept. Clean range, downside, broke above resistance. Little shotgun play entry on this candlestick. Candle poked its head above resistance. Inverted head and shoulder confluence. right here. You got inverted head and shoulders. Accumulation, potential fake out below here. Broke above, clean range. Filled up the clean range. Then price continued to move up. Then you got the goblins. The goblins came out and they opened up their book again. You see, they opened up their book again and then gave you an opportunity to get back into the trade. And this is where we are right now. Maybe there were less sharks in the water. Oh, maybe. Or maybe the sharks have always been there. It's the way the market operates. You see, now you're gonna see maybe this is a V-shaped reversal, but there's no like proper structure to maintain this reversal. But it looks like V-shaped reversal. I still think the buyers are. You'd want to still be more finding yourself in any buy opportunities than sell opportunities, generally speaking, on gold. Question is, how much would that $40 be worth now? It's a 1 to 94 risk to reward. So 40 times 94. Oh, wait, no, it's actually, yeah, how much would it be? I mean, it's $3,783 right now. So I guess that minus 40. 378. Wait, 3783. 3783 minus 40. 3743. Yeah, you can see my math skills are very basic. A good thing you don't need maths to really be a trader. You just need to know how to manage your percentage in returns and risk. But now imagine you kept buying more. You know, you always scaling in like every month. Oh, that's your goal, to always get more than just the $40. Then it really builds up. The compound interest is huge. I think I'm going to end off the stream here, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Don't overtrade. Adios.
Now we about to dip. My boy said to stay.